Go Yohan, the number one man of everything. The number one person to spend the night with, go to school together, and have after-work drinks. And I'm one of those 24,355,432 people that love him. He is so amazing today.
They were nice words, but coming out of her mouth, they sounded creepy.
So delicious.
During this school lunch break, Joha is in a deep sleep. She is having a dream about her bias kissing her. A girl seized the chance to come and take a photo of her hideous, sleepy face. She woke up with absolute horror in her eyes. 3 girls with mockery in their eyes are looking down at her, surrounding her like a mouse in a trap. The girl who took the picture shouts for everyone to hear.
Look at those flushed cheeks. Did you just have an erotic dream in school?
Joha jumped up to take the phone, and she in response kicked her. Her class notices, but they stay still. It's nothing new for them, and for her as well. She should just ignore them. After all, they are going to work under her after graduation. Those revengeful thoughts were the only thing that she could do to calm herself.
But what the hell is this? Look at her note.
The realization hits her.
Did she have that dream after looking at this?
It was what she was afraid of. Her bully had seen her drawings.
Are you drawing BL fanfiction too? What a pervert!
Her companies locked her in her place while she tried to reach for her drawings. She took pictures of her drawings too. Thanks to her now, everyone thought that she was really twisted in head. She was a pervert, creepy girl in their eyes now. She could practically hear their judgmental voice, and their stare cut through her heart.
I just drew it exactly from Vogue magazine.
Is this Joha again?
A chill run through her body. She knows very well whose voice it is. Slowly she turned her head, not daring to look at the person's eyes. He was stepping on her notebook with an annoyed expression. Flashbacks. A chubby girl is standing right before a handsome boy, offering him the puffs she made. She asks if he could accept her puffs and her feeling as well. She waits, eyes squeezed shut. But no answer came out of his mouth. Looking up, she saw that his body was vibrating uncontrollably. Turns out that he was laughing at her all along. Then he pushed her to the wall, telling her she was no match for him.
You should have some conscience.
She didn't know how she got to home, but when she arrived, all she could see was a disgusting creature. So she indulged in drugs to lose weight. And as a result, her body becomes more tattered. But she heard one song from a boy band called Black Boys. A ray of light appeared in front of her eyes. He, the vocalist of a boy band, gave her what she had lost, hope.
That moment I made up my mind. I decided I'd love you on screen rather than loving someone in real life. Isn't it perfect to love an idol? They don't even know you.
Look at this. Thanks to you, I got lots of like today.
She also posted that drawing, which made it to the news. Headline: PRS culture is ruining the gender stereotypes of teenagers. What are the dangers? Another press quote: please punish severely the PRS criminal teenagers who use minor male idol members as sexual playthings.
Now that the whole nation knows about this, it's a matter of time before your idol also sees it.
The bully was right. Indeed, he had seen it. She kept hitting her forehead with her finger point.
It's shameful that you don't know your place regarding men. Someone must teach you.
Then she pulls out her phone and shows her face in Instagram Live. Stepping backward, she loses her balance and gets involved with another loser. She pushes him back and she comes face to face with her bully. She kicks her again, but this time it was so impactful that she tripped backward, stumbles upon the window, and falls out.
So I'm gonna die after I get bullied like a loser. I don't want to die. In my entire life, I've never been loved. I can't die like this.
With that thought, she hit the water. Right after that, she opened her eyes.
Am I alive?
She heads to the restroom quickly. Washing her face, she glances up and sees her idol's face in the mirror. Realization hit her. She's in Yohan body.
If I'm here, then who is my body?
As he was sinking deeper and deeper into the cold water, all he could think about was how people always surrounded him, but now that he was dying, there was no one around. The low oxygen level made his vision blurry, but not so much that he couldn't see someone swimming toward him, that someone kissed him.
Breath?
And the next thing he knew was waking up in a woman body. The first thing on his agenda was to find his body. Her upper body felt slightly heavier as he tried to stand up. He forgot the difference between men and women, and it was honestly
Annoying.
She vomited there after seeing thing about male body, which she is not used to.
I don't like this. Let me go. I need to enter. That's my voice.
Upon hearing her voice, she hurriedly came out of the room. 2 guards were holding a girl, preventing her from entering. Yes, that was her body. One of the men comes to him to apologize for the noise and promises to handle the situation quickly, but there is no need for that since he took the girl and ran away, leaving 2 shocked men behind. Breathless, they both hide in a room. She approaches the window and pulls the curtains. Then, she asks if the person in her body is Yohan. He confirms and mentions that she is the pervert. She wants to explain that it is all a huge misunderstanding, but he doesn't care. The only thing that he cares about is how to have his body back.
Although our bodies have been switched, he's too different from the Yohan I know. The idol who knew nothing but fan. Always gentle, but it feels like he's nothing like Yohan I know.
And out of all the hurtful things he could say, he chose to say,
I had to be switched into this.
This, a loser. Not worthy of him. He approaches her.
You didn't do anything to my body, did you?
I've never done such a thing.
She said that with a red face, remembering the restroom memory.
Then, forget it. Don't even think about stupid things from now on. And the fact that we met before?
She suddenly remembered. Pointing at him, she mentions the kiss in the water. Soon after, a different question followed up.
Hold on. I fell into the water because of Yoon, but how about you? Don't tell me it was intentional.
But his answer to her question is not a yes or no. It is,
Let's kiss. Our bodies were switched after we kissed there. Let's try it again.
however, she protests, saying, how can I kiss my face as my first kiss? He sighs with cold eyes, he says.
Then, you want to keep living like this. Of course you want. But for me this is not an option.
As he gets closer to her, he says with a malicious tone.
I'm trapped in this useless body while you've gotten an idol body.
Silence fills the room.
Are you going to talk like that? To the one who has your body?
What?
In the blink of an eye, she goes topless, revealing his body. He asks what she's going to do. He opens the window and shouts.
Reporters, look over here.
All cameras turn in his direction, and she starts to post for them, all while he is trying to push her away from the window.
Just stop it.
Why? As you said, it's good to be switched. Should we live like this forever?
She towers over him,
Shut up.
and in one swift move, he reaches for her and kiss him. His theory was right. They returned. He gets off her, saying all along what it took was a kiss. So lame. She is shocked to death to hear him saying a kiss is nothing special. A mixture of emotions bubbled up to her chest. To him, it was just a kiss. He lost nothing while. She lost the idea of him. The image she had made shattered. With a gloomy expression, she said,
What a relief now I know your true nature now.
she's about to leave, but suddenly he takes her and stops her, asking for her number.
What if our bodies are switched again?
Right when she thinks he can't get more worse, he proves her wrong. With bitterness, she responds,
It's all easy for you. You can say whatever you please and no one would say anything.
He takes one threatening step forward.
Yeah. It's easy. I just have to do what a bunch of you want. Smile when told to, bark when told to. Yeah, It is very easy.
Bunch of us? How can you say that to your fans?
Fans?
If looks could kill, she would have been dead.
The one who drew fanfic in a subject of petition? I know people like you well. They are a pathetic species who gave up their life and gave everything into someone else's life on the monitor.
It was the last straw for her.
That's right. I gave all my life to you. Because your sweet words made me forget about my hellish life a little.
She grabs him by the collar.
But don't worry, from now on I'll never like you. I doubt anyone would like you for your true nature.
She ends their conversation with a kick in his leg. Showing her middle finger, she says,
Let's not see each other ever again. Never.
But the very next day they found out about rule number 1. The duration of the restored body is 24 hours. She looks around his apartment. Although being trapped in this asshole body was not a pleasing thing, she could not say the same thing about being in his room.
How uncomfortable would he be in my room? She opens the door thinking to herself they need to switch their body ASAP. It's all before she sees this view.
At her home, Yohan faces the fundamental question of how much trash is enough for a place to make it unlivable. Pissed, he thinks they need to switch their body ASAP. Her phone vibrates. She had texted him.
You can go ahead and attend the class.
You've got to be kidding me.
If you don't, I'll do some I go to the press again.
A notification pops up. Yohan has started a live. He text-style go continuously. The live has ended. He breathes a sigh of relief. Now that he agreed, he must do something about this face. There was no way he could attend school with this face. Bring up all her makeup products, he thinks.
My makeup was done only by the professionals, not me, but let's do this.
He gently applies foundation to cover up her pimples, mascara to give glow to her eyes. Lipstick was the final touch. After doing her hair, she was ready to go. At school. Hey, is that Joha? Who? Her? She is Joha? What? As she walked past, everybody whispered. The chubby boy from before covers his doll's eyes. Mimi-chan, close your eyes. You should only see pretty thing. That's Zotosuru.
Horrifying me?
She uses her camera to take a look at herself.
I did how they would do it at the salon though.
The bully makes fun of her appearance. Seeing he was in the center of the attention, but for the wrong reason, he decided to clean her face a little bit. He was in class now, but anywhere he went, mocking eyes were on him. It was his first time experiencing this kind of attention. He stepped into the class. He didn't need to worry about where is her seat. Die, you RPS bitch. That was her seat. He sat on the chair, but soon after the leg broke, and he failed with a thud sound. That moment, feeling all cold eyes on him, found out he was in an outcast body. Just like him, she was also experiencing her first time in many things. Getting a perfect massage. Her first time in the salon. You can take everything that you want. This is a sponsored product from our brand for you. That was not the end. This is on the house, our chef is your fan. It was like being in heaven for the first time. She decided there and then that she won't kiss him. At school lunch break.
How did this girl survive? She doesn't even have a friend to eat with.
Joha, it's a relief that you came back healthy.
He continued eating his lunch in peace.
You're so mean. Why do you ignore your friend?
He take a look at her tag.
So she is the one who pushed her.
Yeon's voice suddenly takes a dark twist.
What should I do? I'm full, but I don't want to waste any food.
She dropped all the food on her head.
Eat it for me. Would you?
He was dumbfounded, but not so much that he couldn't ask why. Her two companions came to him and grabbed each side of him, and next thing he knew was the spoon forced down on his throat. He choked on the disgusting food.
You must have understood something by now. The reason why that day everyone stayed silent about it.
He looked at the crowd.
Certainly there will be someone who can stop this, but why they are all frozen in place?
He remembered what she said back then.
That's right. I gave all my life to you. Because your sweet words made me forget about my hellish life a little.
He thought that she was right.
This is really hell.
Poor Joha, your uniform is ruined. What should we do now?
She took a picture. Pleased with their action, they turned their back, wanting to leave. But he shouted, "Stop there," and they froze in place. Out of anger, he tears up the uniform.
I can just buy new clothes again. However, that cheap personality of yours can't be bought again.
His statement put everyone in shock. No one had ever dared to talk back at them. Her fist flew at him, but he simply takes a step back. She missed the target, but he didn't. Using her leg, he kicks the girl in the face.
Han Joha, are you insane?
I'm sorry, but I'm not Joha.
This was not his body, but he knew all the techniques of judo, taekwondo, kendo, and hapkido.
Let's get you beaten up first.
Bully and bullied has switched place now. With all her might, she threw one punch at him. Takes her punch.
Is it a baby's punch?
He smashed her fist. She retreated.
That was all? You just relied on your weight to bully others, didn't you? What's so good about your weight? You're just a fat pig with no muscle. You lump of fatty oil.
She did touch a sensitive spot.
Do you know that I'm part of a debut group at Cat Entertainment? If I were a fat pig, how would I become a trainee?
But before she could finish, he burst out laughing. Grabbing her hair, she asks why she is laughing, to which she answers.
You, as an idol? Do you really think you can debate after bullying me to death?
She dares to say,
Something like this is not bullying and everything left can be easily erased.
Something like this?
He aims for her ankle.
The predator should shut up and let the victim speak. Don't you agree?
He was done with this stupid pig and those annoying audience. On his way out of class, he came face to face with a redhead boy. The second rule is random flashback of the other person's memory. He passed the asshole.
Why did she even like someone like him?
And also,
He took someone's blanket.
if you mess with Hong Joha ever again, you're dead.
The crowd left wondering why she's referring to herself in third person. In the broadcasting station,
Okay, I wrap this up very quickly because I don't want you to feel what I felt. So, they are celebrating his comeback and she is fangirling. And then she's like, well, this guy is not hanging out with us. So she decided to do this and got this reaction.
That's enough. Are you crazy? Or did you switch bodies? Just do what you normally do.
dazed, she looks around.
Why is everyone looking at me like that?
His memories flowed into her mind. In all of them, he was arrogant and passive-aggressive.
He was actually like that toward me too. A fan. I can't imagine what he did to the people who work under him.
Actually, he already had a bad reputation, so I can take advantage of that. That was what she thought,
Lick it.
and that was what she said. The bottom. That's where I always was. They hated getting close to me. They treated me like a class that wasn't even part of the class pyramid. The outcast. A life where I never stood above anyone else. But overnight, I become the top of the top. I got excited and couldn't even notice how the people around me viewed me, so I should act as if he would act.
Lick it.
What the hell did you say?
Lick my clothes.
He grabs her collar.
You've gone insane. You're so full of yourself that you decide you don't need your group anymore.
He pushed her.
If you are going to act like this, just leave the group. Stop causing trouble.
Her eyes turned dark black.
Every time you go on air, an article criticizes you for your attitude. Did I mention your scandal with another woman as well? You do stupid things because you can't behave properly. All of the fans know the crazy amount of money that you've spent to block those scandals. The group was only able to rise this far because of me. If I leave the group, how can you get the money to block your scandals?
The tension rises.
Think carefully about who should leave the group.
He took off his coat and tossed it toward him.
Know your place, okay?
She is out now, but that is not enough since she constantly reviews what just happened. She cannot help herself but feel that she has become so much like Yohan. What am I supposed to do with a dumbass like you? Right before her eyes, the producer is reprimanding his subordinate. He continues, "If you couldn't get the group, at least you could have got one member. You moron." She decides to interfere.
I'll do it.
"Mr. Yohan?"
If it's hard to pick up one member,
She picks up the glasses.
then just cast me. Miss.
The producer steps between them with a happy face. He starts to thank him.
There is one condition though.
"Of course, we will do our best to."
Change the producer. I can't work with someone like you.
Luno, who was searching for her, stepped upon their conversation.
There are 3 types of people that I don't work with. Scummy, vulgar, low lives.
The producer tried to brush off the insult by laughing and acting dumb.
I very well know people like you. Relying on the power. For lack of better terms, I call them losers. They don't even deserve to be called human.
She whispers to his ears.
Don't you agree?
She turns to the girl,
Let's go.
leaving 2 dumbfounded people behind.
At that moment, I didn't know that this action
No, our action would lead to this chaos.